Dr. Oz. Help us.
Well, first, we need our mojo back. Let's start with things that are really critical to the nation where we think we might be able to open without getting into a lot of trouble. I tell you, schools are a very appetizing opportunity. I just saw a nice piece in The Lancet arguing that the opening of schools may only cost us 2 to 3% in terms of total mortality. And, you know, that's any life is a life lost. But to get every child back into a school where they're safely being educated, being fed, and making the most out of their lives with a theoretical risk in the backside, it might be a trade-off some folks would consider. We need to get industry back, supply lines. I mean, things that we can do without putting the nation at risk. I've realized my comments on risks around opening schools have confused and upset people, which was never my intention. I misspoke. As a heart surgeon, I've spent my career fighting to save lives in the operating room by minimizing risks. At the same time, I'm being asked constantly, how will we be able to get people back to their normal lives? To do that, one of the important steps will be figuring out how do we get our children safely back to school. We know for many kids, school is a place of security, nutrition, and learning that is missing right now. These are issues we are all wrestling with, and I will continue looking for solutions to beat this virus.
I wanted to ask Dr. Fauci, could you address these suggestions or concerns that this virus was somehow man-made, possibly came out of a laboratory in China? You studied this virus. What are the prospects of that?
There was a study recently that we can make available to you where a group of highly qualified evolutionary virologists looked at the sequences there and the sequences in bats as they evolve. And the mutations that it took to get to the point where it is now is totally consistent with a jump of a species from an animal to a human. So, I mean, the paper will be available. I don't have the authors right now, but we can make that available too.
Follow-up, sir, on the protests that we've seen of people wanting the economies to open. Does that concern you, though, as a health expert, when you see folks congregate, and are you worried if that's encouraged?
Well, I mean, I'm looking at it from a public health standpoint. I certainly could understand the frustration of people, but my main role in the task force is to make recommendations to protect the health and the safety of the American people. And I would hope that people understand that that's the reason why we're doing what we're doing, and hopefully we'll put an end to this.
I'll call you when we're done. Fire Fauci! Fire Fauci! Fire Fauci! Fire Fauci! Fire Fauci!
This should be a lot.
I used to think
more thing. You know, she pointed out that she saw swastikas at the rally, and she didn't. And she did. I think she did see them. But there's a distinction. The protesters were comparing her actions to fascist dictators. It wasn't that there were Nazis there. It was that they were unfairly comparing her to Hitler, which is wrong. But one should make that distinction, because what she was saying was that there were Nazis there. She says, I saw swastikas.
There's no pandemic. Media is the cancer.
People are going to die. They die no matter what.
I need a haircut. Yes. It's great.
For heaven's sake, open the barber shops. Open the hair salons. We need haircuts, okay? We gotta buy food. We gotta go to work. We gotta provide for our families.
Comes to the pandemic, are you scared at all? Do you believe in it?
Yes,
oh, yes, I believe
we
it's
sure
real.
do. Exactly, it is real.
We still have a right, I think, to work.
We have a higher power that we believe in that takes care of us, and I know that it's a real thing. The pandemic is a real thing, and we do believe in that.
Not
but
fake,
we want to work. We want to work. We don't want a government handout.
Almost none of the street protesters Thursday wore masks or physically distanced, as the CDC recommends.
No, we aren't. We're not scared of this virus.
God bless America.
Where's the circus? It's in that building right now. Where they're pretending that we need a social distance. Where they're pretending we need masks. They should wear the mask.
We are innocent until proven guilty, which means we do not need an immunity certificate. We do not need a test to prove that we're not vectors of disease and out walking around.
If you can't make the choices for yourself, you no longer live in a free country. And right now, we do not live in a free country. We have to wait for permission from the government at many levels to be able to do something. Go out of the house, go shopping, gather in groups of.
We have real-world examples. We had a church gathering here in Kansas that had 50 people infected, 6 deaths, and they went to 9 counties so far, and with the illness, and have been. That's how the spread occurred.
Have you considered the health ramifications of being in a large group of people?
Yes.
And that doesn't change your mind?
No.
Why do you think the doctors are saying that?
They don't have any choice. Of course they have to say that.
USA! USA! USA!